Welcome back to my mental health and crime channel. This is the case of the Idaho 4. This is all my thoughts, my speculations, and my opinions. This is an early picture of Jack D that was on the mainstream news articles. In my opinion, I see his eye injured. Let's not forget the body cam picture blurred out his face and his eyes. So I'm just going down to memory lane from the very beginning. Why? I had my focus, my eye on certain people, and Jack D was one of them. I wanted to go back to the report I just spoke about. That would be about Jack D, his professor, sending him, referring him to some kind of help and guidance. Some website, it doesn't say the name of the website. It could be counseling, it could be anything. I wonder what his state of mind was. Because in his report, he said that after he broke up with Kaylee, the professor started noticing concerns. And when the professor asked Jack D, Jack D said that it was related to the breakup with Kaylee. May she rest in peace. So if this was affecting his university work, I wonder what was going through his mind. And we've heard that Kaylee moved on and she was dating. So if Kaylee was dating, could this have been a crime of passion? Could Jack D have got jealous? 5 years on and off is a couple of years. It's a while. Could he have been really angry and bitter and full of rage? What is going on with these hands? Especially his thumb. People used to always tell me that I was imagining, that there was nothing wrong with his thumb and his fingers. It's clearly injured. So why you got yourself an attorney? Doesn't make sense. And he was skipping many classes because of the breakup he had with Kaylee. Everything I'm saying is on the police reports. But what I'm saying, about my opinion, my speculations about his thumb and his hands and his fingers, that is what I see with my eyes. Not everyone wants to call it out. Not everyone believes what they see, believes what I see. It doesn't matter whether he had this band-aid on from before. The question is, when did he have it and for what? Kaylee said she had a stalker. There was a talk about that. Could he have been the stalker? Allegedly, just a question. His professor was concerned for him, so his professor guided him to he referred him to some website that was blank, blank, blank. It was blanked out. So was he referred to counseling? I want to know what was his state of mind. Just asking. Why is he hiding his hand behind? Doesn't make sense. He got himself an attorney. He was put in the police Land Cruiser for 45 minutes. Was he having a hard time moving on? Because Katie was going to move without him, no matter what. She was moving to Austin, Texas. And he said in the report, it was her decision. That's not someone's regular thumb. What is up with this man? I'm just zooming into what I see. And they blurred his face. I'll show you all an earlier picture of him. Now this is how Jack D looks like without the beard. This is, I believe, 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks after the unalivings. He came with his auntie. So this is how he looks like with the beard. This is another day. I think it was earlier than the previous picture. Because in the previous picture you can see he's with his auntie. This time he comes with his uncle. You can see his uncle bending down. Pay attention to his face, his lips, his nose. And if you zoom in, you see better, but the only thing is the color becomes blurry. Let's try it. I haven't even zoomed in. I've just gone near the camera. Look at his face. Look at his eyes. What was happening with this young man's life? What was he going through? The rumors was he was drinking plenty almost every night. The breakup had him missing classes, according to his professor, and that is in the reports, the police reports. You can imagine he just lives a minute, 2 minutes away from his former girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, Katie. And she moved on with the life. She was dating. She was going to move to Texas, Austin, with her girlfriend, not a boyfriend. It was a girl. And that was Jordan. I think Jack D couldn't hack it anymore. In my opinion, it is a possibility. Why did he go and get an attorney? Doesn't make sense. Could he have had a fight with Ethan or Zana? Or Kaylee? The fight with Kaylee was personal. Plus, another thing, this is all my thoughts and my speculations, guys. Who would leave the dog alive? Maybe the owner, in my opinion. Even Jack, John, Roger Showalter didn't get himself an attorney. Why was Jack D told to draw all the pictures, sketch all the pictures? Why was he the last person to be ruled out? It was always in my top 4 alternatives. He had motives, targets. And if anyone's wondering, remember it's 2 different pictures. This one is with his uncle. And that's how he looks. I think it was 1 or 2 or 3 days after the unalivings. Then you have the one with his auntie, and he tries to, at least the camera doesn't catch him in certain angles. This picture with his auntie is much later down the line. It's either his auntie or his mother, one of them. But the one with his uncle, where his face is swollen, is much before. And then you see him at the crime scene talking to DM, and his face and his hands are swollen. One hand. And his fingers look like they have Band-Aid. The reason I say one hand is the other hand he hides behind his back. So that was the report I was reading from. You can see on number 15, that is where Jagdee's professor was concerned about blank blank. The blank website states, the mission of the blank is to provide care and concern for students, faculty and staff who blank 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 said that he had been missing more classes than normal and the breakup with Kaylee had been bothering him. He talked about her going to Texas and the fact that she initiated the breakup. So we can see that he was clearly not taking the breakup well. That's Jack Decaux. He wasn't taking it well because his own professors, if you look at number 15 with the S, so it's not one professor was concerned. Professors was concerned that he wasn't attending classes. So could it be that he was missing his classes because he was talking maybe, Katie? They should check. What times was his classes and what time was Katie's classes, in my opinion. This is concerning behaviors when your own professors are concerned. His mother called him. He got an attorney. He stopped the interview. He said, I want my attorney to come along. And then they continued the interview 2 days later on the 17th of November. This is all concerning patterns. He couldn't remember what he spoke to Kaylee about in 17 minutes. Now that is concerning. Extremely concerning. In my opinion, and especially as a mental health counselor, if you can't remember what you're doing 17 minutes, if you picked up the phone, you wouldn't be on the phone 17 minutes. Kaylee was definitely talking and you were listening. Even if you were not completely in the whole conversation, you'd have remembered some things of the call. You can't say 17 minutes, you can't even remember. Blank said he did not recall the phone call and cannot explain it. How can you not explain it? Blank said maybe in his sleep he thought it was an alarm and he pushed the side button off the phone to turn the ringer off. How convenient. I don't buy that. And then right after that is when they say they're concerned. The professors was concerned of him not attending classes. Now look at number 16. It's very important. Jagdee is a very extremely important witness over here, I believe. Number 16 asks blank Jagdee directly if he had committed these unalivings. He stated clearly that he did not. Blank consensually gave a DNA sample at my request. He also consensually gave his cell phone to be downloaded. I later took the DNA samples and transferred them to the custody of the Moscow Police Department. I took thumb drive containing the download from blank solar and transferred the custody to the Moscow Police Department. Blank signed consent forms for both his DNAs and for the download of his phone. I have scanned these forms and placed them on a disk which will be transmitted to the Moscow Police Department. I attached the original forms to the supplement. So basically, they're trying to say that this was the victimology-related questions. Okay, love that word. The victimology, if you ask me, of Jagdee is really concerning towards Katie. Katie was complaining about having a stalker. Let's not forget that. Kaylee was studying from home. I wonder why. Jagdi and Kaylee broke up 3 months before the unalivings. Kaylee and Maddie called Jagdi 10 times on the whole. One of the calls he can't even remember the 17-minute call. He can't recall what the phone call was about, and he couldn't explain it. Very strange. His professors was concerned for him. I have learned JD had been referred to blank, blank, blank because one of his professors, okay, sorry, so it wasn't professors, it was one of his professors, that's enough, was concerned, these are professors, about blank, blank. The blank website says the mission of the blank is to provide care and concern for students, faculty, and staff who blank, blank had been missing more classes than normal. I wonder what he was doing when he was missing these classes. Would they have been pre-planning this? Behavior patterns is important to notice. If behavior patterns were changing, emotions were changing, his behavior patterns was that he wasn't coming to classes that concerned the professors. I wonder what his feelings was about it. Was he anxious? Was he sleeping? Was he angry? Was he jealous?